English Learning Podcast.
From Easy English with Class.
Okay, so I want you to picture a scenario. And be honest, because I think we have all been here. It's maybe 10 o'clock at night. You're standing in your bathroom, brushing your teeth. You are physically exhausted. Your eyes kind of hurt from staring at screens all day. You've been busy for like 12 straight hours. You've been moving data, answering messages, organizing files. But as you're looking in the mirror, you just get that sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. You realize you did absolutely nothing important today.
Ugh. That is a universally painful feeling. It's that specific hollow disappointment of being tired but not productive.
Exactly. It's a paradox.
Yeah, how can I be this exhausted if I didn't actually move the needle on anything that matters?
Right. You cleaned the kitchen counter until it sparkled. You checked your messages maybe 40 times. You watched 3 videos about making sourdough bread, answered some random emails.
But the big thing.
The project, the application, the creative work that actually, matters.
Untouched. And that's usually when the shame spiral kicks in, right?
Yeah.
The negative self-talk starts. We tell ourselves we're lazy or unmotivated or just, bad at managing time.
We think there's something fundamentally broken in our wiring.
Exactly.
Well, today we are going to fix that, but the source material we're using for this deep dive is, it's a little unexpected.
Yeah, it's not what you think.
Usually when we talk productivity, we're looking at some, 400-page business textbook from a Fortune 500 CEO or some complex biohacking study.
Yeah.
Today, we are looking at a guide titled How to Be Productive English Listening Practice.
Which I admit sounds odd at first, but when we went through this, we realized something fascinating.
What's that?
Well, because this guide is designed for English learners, for people who are trying to just grasp the basics of the language, it has to strip away all the jargon. It can't hide behind corporate buzzwords or, complex theories. So it inadvertently provides one of the most stripped-down, effective productivity systems I've ever seen, just because it's forced to be simple.
It's productivity naked, no fluff. And the core message is completely different from what hustle culture usually tells us. We're always told that productivity is about volume, about doing more.
Right. Cramming more into the day. But this source argues the exact opposite. It defines productivity as doing the important thing first, then the smaller things.
So it's not about volume.
Not at all. It's about priority and progress. If you do 50 small things, you weren't productive. If you do one important thing, you were.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack what this guide calls the PTN system. It's a 3-step framework. We're also going to look at the 5 time traps that are probably ruining your mornings, and this is my favorite part, some specific self-talk scripts.
Oh, the scripts are brilliant.
Yeah, since this is a language guide, it literally gives you the sentences to say to your own brain to trick it into focusing.
It's basically cognitive behavioral therapy disguised as a vocabulary lesson. It's fantastic.
Okay, let's get into it. Before we can find the solution, we have to look at the problem. The guide identifies 5 specific productivity traps. And reading this list, I felt personally attacked by number 1.
Trap number 1 is the silent killer, starting with the phone.
The source calls this reaction mode. You wake up, you roll over, you grab the glowing rectangle, and you just start scrolling. What is actually happening in the brain when we do that?
Well, the guide points out exactly why this is so fatal for productivity. It says your brain becomes noisy.
Noisy, I like that.
When you look at news, social media, or messages first thing, you are literally starting your day by reacting to other people's agendas. You're reading about global tragedies, your friend's vacation, a sale on shoes, whatever, before you've even had a glass of water. You aren't driving the car.
You're in the passenger seat. That phrase, reaction mode, really stuck with me. You're letting the world dictate your mood and your focus before you've even brushed your teeth. You're starting on defense.
Precisely. And that leads directly into trap number 2, which the source identifies as doing easy tasks first.
Oh, this is the classic fake out. The guide says we do small tasks because they feel easy.
Yeah.
It feels like work.
Right. I'm checking email. I'm organizing my desktop icons. I'm color coding my calendar.
Exactly.
But the source just calls it what it is. Procrastination. It's procrastination in disguise. We call it productive procrastination.
You're actively avoiding the hard task by filling the time with busy work.
Yeah, it gives you that cheap little dopamine hit of finishing something, but it leaves the priority completely untouched. You're just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Which connects to trap number 3, no clear plan. The text describes this as having a random day.
If you don't decide what matters before you start, you just become a leaf in the wind. You drift to whatever is loudest or easiest. A random day is almost never a productive one.
And then once you're in that random day, you hit trap number 4, multitasking. Now, I feel like we all know multitasking is bad. We've been told this for years.
We have, but we all do it anyway.
We do.
But the source is really explicit here. It says, trying to do many things at the same time usually makes you slower. It's just a biological reality. The brain has to context switch.
Right.
Every time you jump from a spreadsheet to an email to a text, there's a switching cost. And that cost eats up your energy. You aren't doing 2 things at once. You're doing 2 things badly.
Okay, so we've got the phone, the easy tasks, no plan, and multitasking. But trap number 5 is the one that I think stops most people before they even begin. The motivation myth.
This is such a crucial psychological insight from the text. We always tell ourselves, I'll start when I feel motivated.
We're waiting for lightning to strike, waiting for the vibe to be right. Like we're waiting for some divine beam of energy to make us want to write that report.
I'm just not feeling it yet.
Exactly.
And the source just bluntly states, motivation often comes after you start. Action leads to motivation, not the other way around. Waiting for the feeling is the trap.
You have to move first. The feeling follows the movement. Wow. That is a game changer if you really internalize it. You don't need to feel like doing it.
You just need to do it. The feeling will catch up. You can override your mood with action.
Okay, so we know the traps. We know why we're failing. Now, let's get to the fix. The guide introduces this central framework called the PTN system.
PTN. Simple, memorable. P is for priority, T is for timer, N is for next step.
Let's start with P, priority. Now, I have a to-do list with probably 15 things on it. Is that my priority list?
No, absolutely not. The guide is a very strict rule here. You don't get a list of 10 priorities. You get 1.
Just 1.
Just 1. The source asks a guiding question. What is the one thing that will make today successful?
That feels a little scary. What about everything else?
The philosophy here is about defining success. If you do that one thing, the lead domino of the day is a win. Doesn't matter what else goes wrong. If the house is messy and you forgot to return a text, but you did the priority, you were productive.
That takes so much pressure off. You're not trying to be a superhero. You're just trying to do the one thing. Okay, so you've picked your priority. Now we move to T-timer.
The strategy here is to set a short timer. The source suggests 10, 15, or even 25 minutes.
Why so short? If I have a big project, shouldn't I block out like 4 hours?
And that's the intimidation factor. The guide explains that a timer makes your brain feel safe.
Blech.
If you tell your brain, we are going to work on this horrible thing for 4 hours, your brain just panics. The amygdala, your fear center, it just lights up.
It wants to escape. That's when you suddenly find yourself scrolling Instagram.
It triggers a flight response.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say, hey, we're just doing this for 15 minutes, the brain goes, okay, I can survive that.
It signals that the focus is temporary. It lowers the barrier to entry.
The safety mechanism.
I love that. So we have our priority, we have our timer. Now comes N, the next step.
And this is all about reducing the barrier even more. The source emphasizes that the step has to be incredibly small. If your priority is finish the presentation, that's too big. That's a project, not a step.
So what's the step then?
The examples the source gives are things like open the document or write the first sentence.
Open the document. That's it. That counts.
That's it, because the fear is in the starting. If the bar is set that low, you literally can't fail. And once the document is open, you're already in motion.
It effectively tricks you into starting. You're not committing to run the marathon. You're just committing to putting on your shoes.
Precisely. PTN. Pick one priority, set a short timer, define a tiny next step. It cuts right through the overwhelm.
What if even that feels too hard? What if you were just staring at the wall, completely paralyzed by procrastination? The source has what it calls the #1 shortcut for this exact situation.
Yes. The 2-minute start rule.
This might be my favorite takeaway from the entire guide. It's like the emergency brake for procrastination.
It really is.
So the concept is, you tell yourself, I'll start for 2 minutes. If I still hate it, I can stop.
And the key words there are, I can stop. You have to give yourself permission to quit. Because if you're secretly planning to trap yourself for an hour, your brain knows you're lying.
But here's the trick, right? You almost never stop.
Right. The psychology is that 2 minutes breaks the wall. The hardest part of any task is that initial static friction, just getting started. Once you're moving, it's so much easier to stay moving. Usually 2 minutes turns into 5, which turns into 15.
It's like pushing a stalled car. Getting it rolling takes all the effort. Keeping it rolling is easy.
Exactly. And the source gives really practical examples. For cleaning, you don't say, I'm going to clean the whole house. You just say, I will clean for 2 minutes.
I actually tried this with my dishes the other night. I was looking at the pile and I just wanted to cry. I was so tired. So I told myself, okay, 2 minutes of dishes, then I'm going to bed. I washed 3 plates. And then I just kept going. Because my hands were already wet, I was already standing there. I finished the whole sink.
That is the rule in action. It just bypasses your brain's resistance mechanism.
So we've got the PTN system for structure and the 2-minute rule for emergencies. But the guide also talks about the environment. Because you can have the best willpower in the world, but if your environment is fighting you, you're going to lose.
Which brings us right back to the phone. The source suggests the phone away rule. And it's very specific, not just ignored, but physically far away.
Not on the desk. Not in your hand.
Nope, phone away. It sounds like something you'd tell a teenager, but honestly, as adults, we need this more than anyone.
Oh, for sure. If it's on the desk, even face down, part of your brain is still monitoring it.
It creates a low-level anxiety loop. Did it buzz? Was that a light? Moving it away physically clears up that mental bandwidth.
The guide also has a strict rule for to-do lists. It connects back to the priority idea.
Yeah, it advises writing 3 tasks maximum to avoid stress. You have your 1 priority and then 2 smaller tasks.
3 things. That's it.
That's it. The source argues this is enough for most days. And think about the psychology of that. If you write a list of 20 things and you do 12 of them, which is amazing, you still feel like a failure because you see the 8 you didn't do.
You just focus on the gap.
Exactly. But if you write a list of 3 things and you do all 3, you end the day feeling successful. It's about setting yourself up to win.
And that extends to your physical space, too. The guide mentions clear workspace. The quote is, a messy desk creates a messy mind.
I feel seen again.
I know, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, just clear enough. It's about reducing the visual noise so your brain can focus.
Visual clutter is just another form of distraction. It's more input your brain has to process.
Now, there's one part of this I found really refreshing. The source talks about productive rest.
Yes, this is a vital distinction. We often think productivity means grinding nonstop, but the source insists that breaks are part of the process. Rest your mind, then come back.
But it's not just scrolling TikTok, is it?
No, because scrolling is more input. It's high stimulation. Productive rest is more like a reset. You step away, let the brain cool down, look out a window, get some water, and then you return. It's strategic.
I want to pivot now to that unique language learning aspect of this source. Because it's teaching English, it provides these specific phrases, almost like mantras, to say to yourself.
The mental scripts. Yep. This is where the source really shines. It acknowledges that a distraction starts as a thought. So it gives you a counter thought. It gives you the internal monologue of a productive person.
Okay, let's go through the key ones. The first is, focus now, relax later.
Simple, but effective. It acknowledges that relaxation is coming. It's a promise to your brain.
We will relax, just not right this second.
It defers gratification instead of denying it, which makes your brain a lot more cooperative.
The next one is for that digital addiction. I'm not checking messages right now.
That's an affirmation of control. You're stating a fact about your current reality. It draws a boundary and stops that unconscious reach for the phone.
And when you feel that urge to do the small, easy stuff, the script is, this can wait.
That is the antidote to false urgency. Everything feels urgent, but very few things actually are. Telling yourself, this can wait, validates your decision to stick to the priority.
And the final one, which I think is the mantra for the whole system, one thing at a time.
It was the anti-multitasking shield. When the chaos starts creeping in, you just repeat that one thing at a time. It centers you.
The source even applies these scripts to real-life scenarios. Like, if you're overwhelmed by email, the script isn't, I need to clear my inbox. The script is, I'll answer the most important email first.
Or if you're feeling too tired after work, that classic 6 p.m. slump, the script is, I'll do one small task for 2 minutes, then rest without guilt.
Rest without guilt. That is so powerful because if you do the 2 minutes, you've earned the rest. You aren't quitting, you're finishing.
Yes, exactly. It changes the whole narrative from I gave up to I did my micro task and now I'm recharging. It preserves your self-esteem.
So what does this all mean for us? We've got this guide that was meant for English learners, but it's actually given us a master class in behavioral psychology.
It really has. If you theme out, the biggest takeaway is that complexity is the enemy of execution. We build these complex productivity systems with apps and calendars and boards.
And we spend more time organizing the work than actually doing the work.
That's it, exactly. This source just strips it all back to the absolute essentials. PTN, priority, timer, next step, and the 2-minute rule to get the engine running.
It's the realization that you don't need more time, you need more focus. And you don't need more motivation, you just need a lower barrier to entry.
And you need to be kind to your brain. That's what the safety of the timer and the permission to stop are all about. It's working with your psychology, not fighting it.
Treating your brain like a partner, not an enemy to be conquered. I love that. So here is the challenge for you listening. The source actually includes a comment challenge, but we're going to adapt it for you right now. Can you define your entire day's success in a single sentence?
My priority is X, and I will start for 2 minutes.
That's it. Fill in the blank. My priority is writing the report, and I will start for 2 minutes. My priority is cleaning the garage, and I will start for 2 minutes.
If you can do that, you've already won the battle against the random day. You have a target, and you have a starting line.
So as soon as this deep dive ends, don't check your email, don't look at the news, put your phone across the room, physically across the room.
Set a timer.
And just start for 2 minutes. You can stop if you hate it, but I bet you won't. Thanks for diving in with us.
Go be productive.
See you next time.